All right. Welcome to the press conference for Game 6 of the 2025 NCAA Division III Women's Volleyball National Championship on the campus of Illinois Wesleyan, as number 4 seeded Laverne defeated number 8 seed Barry 3-2. Here I have Laverne with me, which includes head coach Jeff Hendershot, as well as student athletes Malia Capistrano and Maya Ray. Coach, can we hear your initial thoughts on the game?
Yeah, just a battle. That Barry team has been underrated all season long, and they proved tonight why they deserve to be in the conversation for the best teams in the country. They're relentless on their attacking, their defense, serving tough. They were in system and serve receive and on their defense. They had a swing every single time. They never let us off the hook once. And on the flip side of that, we never gave up either. We were against it there quite a few times, but we just kind of stayed true to ourselves with our effort. And, we talk about being relentless in our attack, and we stayed with it, and that was just an epic battle. Just fun. It was a great match.
And then Maya and Malia, can you guys just talk about that final point, what it felt like, especially you getting the final kill, Maya?
It just felt so unreal. Every single year I've been here, we've been trying to make it a step further than the previous year. So this year, just to go to the championship, it's just amazing. So grateful.
I think that final point I was off the court, but it was just like everyone was taking one step closer and closer and closer every single time somebody touched the ball. So it was just super exciting to see how we finished that match, especially on a kill. It was great.
Coach, you guys have seen UW Oshkosh before, a very, very competitive match earlier this season. What did you learn from that match that you can take into tomorrow or Saturday?
Yeah, that was the third weekend of our preseason and got to play them at home, and it went our way. But I think what we learned from it is just that's a very good team that we need to be ready to play for. They pass well, they're very offensive, well coached, good systems. It's going to be a heavyweight battle on Saturday for sure. So I think we can take some confidence knowing that we've beat them in the past, but it's about just that match by itself.
Maya, for you, obviously you've been an extremely talented athlete for your whole career, and especially this season. Tonight, Barry finished with 17 blocks. What did you see at the net, and how did you still manage to overcome that with 36 kills?
They definitely had a really good block in front of us every single time we went up and tried to hit. But I think just staying consistent, sticking to what I know, sticking to the game plan that the coaches give us, I just think that helps us the most and keeps us motivated, determined to keep going and just play point by point.
Malia, I think tonight we saw the diversity and the depth of your Laverne squad. You didn't get the start there in the first set, and you still managed to finish with 26 assists. Talk to me about what does that say about your team that, even if it's not someone's night, there's someone ready to step in and kind of take that shoulder and take that load.
Yeah, after I went in for Nessa, I knew this was could have been one of her last games as a senior, so I really wanted to play for her. I think that says a lot about our team. That's what we all do for each other. And that's how we kind of carried on throughout the whole game. Every single point we were playing for each other, encouraging each other. We never got mad at each other or snappy. Stayed positive the whole time.
Coach, this Barry squad kind of plays a little bit different from a lot of other teams. They like to play very quick offensively, and obviously their defense came to play tonight. Did you adjust your game plan? Did you give any kind of additional direction to your team, knowing that the team you were going against tonight, was going to present a little bit differently than maybe what you normally see?
Yeah, we get a 55-minute practice every day, and we spent 35 of it just talking about the tempo of their offense. And, not only that, but also about their defense, and how they do their, man-up sort of defense. They're very, very good on tips and rolls and all of that. So, yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about it. I think as a coach, you always want to be careful committing too much, and changing what you've been doing all season long that got you here, but also make sure that you're adjusting and making accommodations for what you're going to be seeing across the net, So we definitely talked about really defensively playing faster in preparation, getting to the net faster, making our reads faster, matching their intensity on defense. And then on the flip side, offensively, we're not Barry. We're not going to speed it up. We're not going to try and match their speed with offense. We're going to do what we do. We're going to let her go up and be big. We're going to run Zachy when we can. We're going to get the ball to her right side. Malia did a great job of setting Mariah and getting her a bunch of kills tonight. That was a big difference maker. So it's staying true to ourselves on the offensive side, but we did a ton of scout and talking about their offense for sure and how they play defense.
Maya, for you, let's talk about your transition play. 38 serve receives, two more serve receives than you had in kills. But it seemed like a lot of times when you receive that serve, it got you moving and it got you kind of in the flow. Is that all season long? Is that kind of your style?
Yeah, I mean, Jeff knows this. I feel like our whole team knows, but I feel like my biggest kills come from me like serve receiving and then transitioning to attack. I just feel like the momentum and the rhythm I have just like gives me the energy to just crush the ball, I guess.
And then, Coach, my last question for you. New in the last few years to the Elite Eight and the Final Four, you get the day off tomorrow. I've been with teams where you win a late night match and you got to be going at 4 or 5 o'clock the very next day. What does this day off do physically? What does it do for your team mentally, allowing you to be as best prepared as you can come Saturday?
I think, for a staff, it gives us a little extra time to game plan, and prepare and watch video. I think something that we all forget is these are student athletes, and I've already been requested for study hall, and we got to proctor a couple tests and catch up on some assignments. So I think probably more than anything, just gives them a chance to catch up on some of their homework and get a little bit of rest. I think we'll definitely find a balance between prepping for Saturday and keeping them engaged while also letting them kind of turn off and get some rest a little bit. Definitely not an early breakfast tomorrow. Let them sleep in some for sure. So.
Last question, Maya and Malia. This is the furthest you've both made it in your decorated careers here at Laverne. What's it going to take, and what does it mean to kind of get these last couple days with your team?
It means so much to me. I think that just us going out and giving it all we got and having such a memorable season is the highlight of the season for me. So,
I think this match just gave us a bunch of confidence going into our next one, and that confidence will let us go into our next match knowing that our best will beat their best, and that's just something that we've repeated this whole season.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Awesome game tonight. Good luck on Saturday.
Here, kitty.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to the press conference for Game 6 of the 2025 NCAA Division III Women's Volleyball National Championship on the campus of Illinois Wesleyan. It's number 4 seed Laverne defeated number 8 seed Barry 3-2. Here I have Barry with me, which includes head coach Caitlin Moriarty, Cadence Maxfield, Kat Kellerman, Laura Underwood, and Kara Schmidt. Coach, can we get your initial thoughts and reactions to the game?
I think my initial thought is I really just want to say thank you to Illinois Wesleyan for hosting an incredible final site tournament, national championship. It has been an amazing experience for our team. They felt extremely special. I think you guys have gone above and beyond in all areas, so thank you. I also want to congratulate Laverne on an incredible match, an incredible season. They are an amazing team, challenged us in every aspect, mentally, physically, offensively, defensively, and serve, receive, and serve. I think it was a really special match. I think both teams played with a lot of heart. I think it was a lot of fun volleyball to watch. I think I'm, extremely proud of our team. We've joked about this, but, we're not really sure how we got here. The last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we've just had a mental shift where we just believed more than probably most, and our bodies reflected that belief and accomplished a lot more than we probably should have this season. And so we feel really blessed and privileged and are really grateful to even be here. I thought tonight our team really battled. I think it took us a minute to get settled. I think everybody was shaking and a little anxious, and adrenaline was pumping. And so I think that second set we kind of settled in a little bit, or after the second set, and tried to play a little bit more our style and just be a little bit more authentic to who we are and not try to be something we're not. I think Laverne is a very physical team, of course. So, just proud of our team, and I could go on and on, but I'll let them talk.
To any of the student athletes, can you describe kind of the energy or the mental shift that Coach was talking about in the last 3 weeks, especially including your crowd? Just if you could try to put that into words.
I think like we had this beach scrimmage, and we're all crossovers, and so we played, and it was kind of a joke of don't count us out until we're out, and me and my partner, we lost every game that day, but it was just our attitude that we had throughout the whole time of just we can still win and give our best until the very last point. And even in sometimes it would count down the number of points we needed to finish a set to just remind ourselves that we need to keep going and every single point matters.
Yeah, I think this season has just taught our seniors and also just the rest of our team just what it looks like to play for something greater than ourselves. And I think this group specifically has chosen joy, and I hope that that's been apparent to every person that's been able to watch us this season, and just know that there's so much privilege in playing Division III volleyball, and with that comes joy. You're playing a sport, and it's so fun to play volleyball. And we joked about in the SAA tournament playing for the little girl that started your love for the sport, and we just continue to hold on to that. That just gave us momentum in the moments that were really challenging. We just held the huddles longer, looked in each other's eyes longer, believed, instilled confidence in one another, and just all of that happens in the little moments. And I think we've just held that so near and dear to our hearts, and I think that's just reflected in our parents too, and how they come fought from wherever to come and support us and just love us so authentically. I'm just really proud of this group.
Coach, can you talk about this group of seniors? Sorry. Especially this season, but, throughout their careers.
Yeah, I think this group is really special. I think that they have redefined what it means to be selfless leaders, to hold each other to really high standards and redefine those standards. I think they have planted so many seeds in our young team that will last a long time. I think that they know that their growth as individuals has been immeasurable. I think, the freshman versions of themselves are totally different. And I know that they are prepared for what's next. And I know that our team will deeply miss them. I will deeply miss them and grieve for a long time. But I'm just so proud that these were our seniors this year, and they led us here 100%. And that this will last much longer than a volleyball match.
And then to all of the student athletes, can you try to sum up this season as a whole, kind of taking on this underdog mentality in the last couple weeks especially? What will you remember most about this year?
Excuse my voice, but I think it's just an amazing privilege to be humble enough to be we're the underdog and we're gonna have to work twice as hard and we're gonna have to put in extra hours and buy into this culture and what we're building here and the things that are bigger than volleyball, playing for the little girl inside you, the joy. And I think just as the underdog and as having to do that, it's a really great experience, and I just would encourage everyone to bring on that mindset because that's truly what got us here, that belief and that hustle. So.
Yeah, I think there was never a moment where we felt entitled to anything. We knew from the start, we were going to have to work hard for every single game, every single ball. In practice, we'd show up at 5:45 in the morning and get to work in the gym, and none of us ever took that for granted. We got in there and we wanted to work, and we were just so grateful for every opportunity, and that's just something we've really harped on this year especially. And I think that's just the mentality we've had this whole season of nothing's we're not gifted anything, and we've just got in the gym and worked, and on the court too, but also off the court. We love each other so dearly, and we're each other's best friends, and that translates so well on the court, and that's just something we've held on to.
Yeah, and I think this season particularly, it's been such a privilege that it's looked so differently for all of us. And the SAA, we added 2 new teams. We did the pod system. We had a set location for the conference championship. And so I think our mindset as seniors heading into this season was it may be our last time, but it's someone else's first time. And so it's not about us. And so let's make it about them. And how can we serve them and leave this legacy and leave Barry better than we found it.
And then my final question, all seriousness aside, what is the donkey kick story?
It really just started as in practice of we there were 2 different teams and our coaches were paired up on different sides, and I don't know how it happened, I don't know why it happened, but we were the donkey asses. Pardon my French. And it really just started there, and it was just pretty much rage baiting the other side to compete harder. And it really just started there, and we realized that doing that on the court just really settles us, but also brings the fun back to the game, and the ability for us to it's okay to not be okay on the court, and also to make mistakes, but also just to be able to have fun.
Awesome. Congrats on an awesome season. You guys were so fun